First at 4, a fourth gravel pit project has been approved in Gem County near Emmett, and a family who lives and runs a business across the street from the project originally tried to block its approval, and now that it's moving forward, Aspen Shumper explains why the family is hoping to work with the developers.
Goss was part of the equestrian talent squad for the Canadian Olympic team that competed in the 2008 Beijing Olympics.
It's incredible to see. It's incredible to see the gifts that he has.
He grew up in the equestrian world, but left the industry over 10 years ago.
15 years ago or so, I had an accident where I picked a fight with a horse and lost.
After over 20 surgeries to build back his hand and trauma from the accident, Goss and his wife Regan Goss, who's also competed internationally, never thought they would get back in the saddle. Until the Goss's son, who was 10 years old at the time, started showing interest in riding.
You could see he was being drawn to them, but had a blockage. So that, we had some conversations about it's okay, they're not bad creatures. And shortly after that, he came and said, I think I might want to learn how to ride.
Giving the Gosses a nudge to start their own riding and training company and a nonprofit that focuses on equine-assisted therapy.
It's a really powerful experience that we're grateful to be a part of.
Biggest thing is with standard human-human therapy, there's a lot of blocks. And the equine assistants are able to, just by being who they are and what they are, break down a lot of those blocks and a lot of those barriers.
The right property for them back in 2022 was this 14-acre property in Emmett.
This one.
Earlier this year, they went into Gem County's Planning and Zoning Department to possibly sell one of the two parcels they sit on.
Can we put the front parcel with the 2.8 acres and house in this barn on the market, sell this to fund for us to build a facility out back?
To their surprise, it wasn't possible, and the parcels cannot be sold separately.
We said, okay, we can either dump a bunch of money into trying to fight this and get around it, or we can put this on the market and go find a different piece of property that makes more sense.
At the same time, they learned a gravel pit project on 300 acres just across the street from the Goss's property was being proposed.
We were initially 100% against it. There was going to be noise, there's going to be dust, there's going to be excessive traffic, there's going to be water issues. All of these things came up as potential negatives.
But their biggest concern was what realtors were saying, that the gravel pit project will affect nearby property values, including the Gosses.
We cannot sell this and take the loss that would be required in order to do so we can move on and find a piece of property that makes sense for us to do this on.
The Gosses tried to stop the project, but when it got approved in August, they felt it was time to shift their fight.
We know growth's going to happen. We're not anti-growth. I'm not saying we're super pro-growth. I don't want to put a subdivision in our backyard, but people are coming.
With the gravel pit project expected to go for 10 years and later planned for housing development, the Gosses are hoping for some collaboration with the county and Granite Excavation, who's in charge of the project.
I mean, a farming term, but putting the cart way before the horse in, they're trying to shove all of this rock up a hill that only has 2 lanes. They're not affected by the extra time in commute. They're not affected by the unregulated trucks that are spitting rocks and breaking windshields.
They hope they can collaborate to have a say in the future growth and planning in the area.
How can we work together? How can we find a common positive?
The Gosses say since they moved to the area, they haven't felt the community more divided over the gravel pit projects. But Granite Excavation has reached out to them directly, expressing willingness to collaborate and provide transparency on this project. Of course, we'll be following this project's progress and keep you updated.